Good morning, fellow punters. It's a long time ago since I said that. I think it's last August I done a morning video last. The clock on the wall says 18 minutes past 7. Frank Sinatra famously sang about New York, New York, the city that never sleeps. Well, this is the bus that never sleeps. We have to go at it again. Bookies 2, bus 1 and a draw after 4 days, I would call it. So we'll have to try and make a few pounds today. Lay at home last night and was too tired. Throated at me this morning and I wasn't singing. Bookies won out yesterday, even though it's for us, or for me, my biggest bet of the week was on Vaseline. The drier the ground and the better the weather was yesterday, the more I got it into my head that it wouldn't be beaten, and I went in a good few times, dipping my toe in the water. And I thought when Chris's dream fell, that was going very well, and it was the loose horse that impeded with that horse. If that loose horse didn't come in into play at that time, I'd love to know what would have happened. But it unbalanced him going into that fence, and he clipped it. And then our jockey came very wide, and I don't know what it did. Was there a need to do it because the ground wasn't any better on the outside? And Life in the Park was lucky to stay up. Of course, I had a reverse forecast done with Kilcrut, and then it finished third. But she behaved well to stay in the saddle. Anyway, I met a good few people yesterday. Jack Connaughton, I gave him a ticket on the way in. He's from South Roscommon. I'd have known his dad. He played for Roscommon years ago, Joey. Met Colin Milan. He's a local. He's living up in Naas now. He was on the camera yesterday. He was on the finishing line camera. Because I asked him, could he have not done anything for buyer side the day before? He says he can't manipulate it. He just blows it up for the judge to view it. He was getting an ice cream when I spotted him. Martin Sweeney from Dublin, had a good chat with him. He spotted me on the rail at the enclosure. He's from the inner city of Dublin. Grand man, good chat. Thomas from Cork, near Mallow, 5 miles. I think was it Clyde Rovers, GA club he said he was from. And 2 lads from Cheltenham. They spotted me just before the Hunter's Chase yesterday evening. One of them with the Peaky boys cap on, and they were up for 2 days. 2 good characters, I would say. Great big smiles on them. So it's great to see the younger crowd coming from Cheltenham for a couple of days to Punchestown for the races. Anyway, there's more, but I'll get to them again. I'll rattle on here if I can. The 235 is the cross-country chase. With Stealthy Tom, that was second for us the other day, out again. It's important to be able to jump all these fences, and Indibulger has a great record down through the years. He has Birchdale running there. That was a decent handicapper that didn't win the Paddy Power. So also his Plan of Attack. I think I picked Plan of Attack a couple of years ago in Cheltenham when it ran over the banks, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 7th. No, that was this year. Wanted last year. It was 3rd and 4th in Diesel Daly era back on the lash. That could be that'd be sort of the best horse down through the years. It's only a 10-year-old, but the Bromhead has had no winner at all at the festival, and Elliot has only won the first day, so a bit worrying the form of their yards. The 310 is the handicap chase. This was won last year by, wasn't this Donkey Years? No, Peaches and Cream. The horse I thought might have a I should have got the honey to clear the throat. is Everglow for Noel Mead. So it's fourth to Max Chatham, but it runs better on better ground. When it won in Kilbeggan last July, but just third last May to Panda Boy in a 3-mile chase, which is rated 132. Like, that was a decent enough run. Dunboyne behind it and Tully Beg. That was a beginner's chase. But the track and the distance is sound. So I think that's a 10-1 shot, or it was last night. Yeah, 10s in places. The Mayor's Champion Hurl. Fascinating race, the race of the week. My selection I backed it last night is Echoes in Rain. So second in this last year to Honeysuckle. But fresh in the mind still is the devastating display a couple of years ago in the novice ranks when it, what year was that? The year before, April 21. Beat a good yardstick there, Colonel Buster, who ran really well yesterday, who was third. Probably if it didn't make a mistake 4 out, it had a better shot of finishing second, because I'd had backed at 20-1 without the favourite. But Vauban was second to Statement. Great display by Statement yesterday again, and Imperial Pass, and Impervious. But I'm on Echoes and Rain. I'll be sweet enough on that now, actually, today. I'm going against Brandy Love, even though I backed it in Cheltenham. Interesting horse here in the handicap chase is the Skelton's horse, Flegmatik, or Flegmatik. Dan doesn't come over too often with them. But it was a good second the last day to Our Power over 3 miles on good ground. It has won a race like over at 130 before. It's 137, carrying a nice weight. And each way bet on that was my selection in that race. This is the race for Lossymouth, I suppose, but the most interesting horse for me probably today is Zarak the Brave. Hasn't been seen since Fairy House for some other reason, or some unknown reason. Well, it's probably known to the connections. But it won first time out. Lossymouth got first run on it and it got blocked in on the rail the last day. Without Lossymouth, they're betting on that. Yeah, 13-8. 13-8 without the favourite. That'd be sort of interesting to me. 5:30, the handicap hurl. A horse that might have been laid out for this. There's a 60,000 pounds Green Glory for Charles Burns. That won the bumper last year, and he won it again yesterday evening. The 2 miles too. But we were on at the date one in Leopardstown in December, and then it went off favourite for the Lanzarote. And the ground was brutal that day, but it came willing and threatening to win the race. But and West Balboa, actually there's only 4 finishers, I think, in that race that day, wasn't there? He was last to 4 to finish. But West Balboa has franked that form, has won since. The break would have done it no harm. An epic song for them famous Mulrine colours has to be that was second in the entry. But the horse there, that Winter Fog, that won for us at a big price in December and the ground was against her. I didn't think it ran as well as it has ability. This horse, it's only his third run back for Willie, but that was 25-1 last night, and they're paying paying 5 and 6 places. Must be a bit of money for it. It was 25s and 28s last night. Now it was an open contest, but Green Glory each way. That must be money for that overnight too. The bumpers I don't know about. I didn't get a chance to check the breeding of anything. If I spot something during the day, I'll put them up. Elsewhere, there's great racing at Sandown today. The man to follow definitely is Paul Nichols, as he attempts to pass the record for money won in a year. But Kitty's Light seems to be, it was 7-2 last night with 365 and seals 11-4. It's hard to believe, well, it's not with the connections involved, I suppose, but it was second in this 2 years ago, and it was third in this last year, and both times it was rated higher. 2 years ago, it was rated 139, which it was on the up. Good ground, so jump round the track, and it can be a difficult enough track to get the handle of. Last year it was 30 Hewitt, rated 145, and it's running this year off 140, and it never jumped as well as it did last week. I thought it might be a bit suspect running last week after it's the week before, or the time before in Newcastle. But it seems to be, it's chucked in if the race a week ago hasn't taken its toll. We have a few horses that won for us. Ansam won the last time, and that form was Frank Gister by the Wolf. Actually, that was the horse I had picked out, but when I checked just in the morning, I said, sure, he's trained by Ollie Murphy. I can't put him up after saying last week I was steering clear of that yard, and he hoised up 10 yards or 10 lengths. Revels Hill let us down the last week. It was second to Coola Villa. We have backed in Rillo before, but Kitty's Light seems to be the horse, and it's a decent price there, 7-2. John Bon, this is a great little race. By them running John Bon again, you'd imagine that it's going to be a class race between him and Grenadine. Grenadine has won this, hasn't it? One of the last 2 years, I think, yeah. But the fact that he didn't put it out to grass for the summer, going for another pot, Nicky, the Shrew. Paul Nichols has the top 3 in the race card here, if I remember correctly. Killalone going for 4 in a row. Under control, probably be the danger. But you could do worse than putting 4 of Nichols's today in a lucky 15, like Killalone, ICO, Nappers Hill, and there's another one. Nappers Hill is in the 4. Oh yeah, the Captain Matan, I think it was. Harper's Brook. That's a horse I was thinking of last night in that race. The 250 is the grade 2. Hewitt is on that. He should win. He's a good few races. He's on the go a long time since last summer. Solo, I'd see another one of Paul Nichols that put it up to him. Nappers Hill. That's a grand little race as well. Nappers Hill and ICO in the last race. Was there one at Ripon? Was this a 2 mile race? Yeah. It's good to laugh. It's a policy of mine. I thought that might be worth the bet today. It was pulled up in heavy ground. The last it didn't suit it. Although it's soft today. It was in that hurdle race that we looked at a few times. Anyway, I get this up. Bash the bookies over and out.